guy who doesn't belong here, in my argument. Yeah, how's he not been on stream? They're just like, he's going to be PR'd anyway, so let's not put him on there. Yeah, Ketchup, the favorite to win, doesn't get any screen time. Yeah.
Yeah, Ketchup, not only with a strong tournament showing today, but also an entirely strong season. He certainly made his case already to be PR'd, and I think a win here would only solidify that.
Yeah, honestly, he's been really dominant in there. But I think it's just like at this point, it's really thinking about who's going to get off the PR.
Right.
Right?
I mean, there's 20 spots. Someone's going to make way. I mean, you obviously, like, we know Mr. Concon's not going to return, but...
That's true, yeah.
I mean, unless medical school gets out early, but I doubt it.
School's out. School's out, guys.
I would not put it past him to just farm 6 locals in a week and make it on.
No, maybe they have locals at the medical school. No, Mr. Concon.
Mr. Con.
Yo, he bodying people.
He bodying people and then healing them after.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Should be some interesting stuff between Ketchup and... Trying to figure things out.
Ketchup, of course, with a slew of wins already this season, has wins on V.O.D, on Cosmos, on Master Mario. I believe he beat Cyro at one point. So he's taken really just a lot of the SoCal PR by the neck.
No, he is definitely the unranked guy to be watching out for and definitely to be PR'd in her. He even said it himself that this is going to be the last one, probably going to be not ranked into this one, but...
I mean, he's the face of SoCal unranked. You can really tell, like...
Shouldn't seem like that. Is that what I usually say? You're like a pizza company. Papa John.
Interesting. We're seeing Mr. Rodgers start out with a duck hunt instead of his main Yoshi. Perhaps just doesn't like the matchup at all.
Shout out to Nintendo. Nintendo rocking the duck hunt. But I never seen Mr. Rodgers play duck hunt though, but duck hunt.
Really he definitely has a duck hunt. I know he's used it particularly as a counterpick character, but I've never seen him start a set out with it.
I mean, maybe it feels a little different this time, but definitely Duck Hunt can pose some trouble for Bowser Jr. as we're seeing right now, but thankfully Ketchup is able to find him safe, and that frame one can is surely to do wonders to get out of the strings that Ketchup is so notorious for.
Yeah, that can really just get rid of some of the super armor that Concart does have on startup. It does enough damage to just break through, especially in the later frames, and with its activity, you can certainly get around it without anything too committal. You can get in while also hanging back.
Oh, I love that parry coming into play, but Mr. Rodgers able to reset the situation right now. He's playing a little more campy, knowing that he really can't chase him down, and he thankfully does air dodge it, but the can actually wasn't active because didn't get hit.
Finally putting that can right back, uses the down air to get rid of both the dog and the gunman.
Goodness, a lot of damage, but he's got it down. He's got the Mecha Koopa in place. Can go for the dash attack. It's right next to him, and they both get explosions. Oh my god, this is looking like a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, just fell short. There's just so many explosions and going on. Excellent up air off the top.
Oh, he's got it. Mr. Rodgers definitely living up to his name as the dark horse of this tournament. He'll take the first stock, but remember, it is inevitable until Ketchup starts. Oh! Oh, that killed.
That was so smart. He used the cannonball to actually redirect the can right into Mr. Rodgers.
And he's getting hit with these cannonballs left and right, so he's definitely got to be careful. Does have the Mecha Koopa in hand, but no punish just yet. Up smash out of shield, not going to hit, but Ketchup has yet to take any damage, which is the best.
Yeah, that second fastest up smash out of shield in the game at frame 6, only behind Diddy Kong. Nearly killing with his own can, but Mr. Rodgers surviving at 158.
Oh, he parried his own can. Amazing. Oh, he's still alive, barely able to float away from that, but oh, actually no punish. He did break up the Mecha Koopa, so it's unable to find a punish just yet. But right now, Mr. Rodgers doing so well, just walling out Ketchup, make sure to play safe, knowing that he's got to keep this lead up, and that's not even enough to take his stock.
Yeah, at 182, Mr. Rodgers isn't going to have too many iframes, so we're seeing him actually return directly to the stage a little bit more. Finally gets something going with a frisbee, interrupts the gunman, and crashes the party. Ketchup is finally on the board.
Yeah, finally takes the stock, and right now he's played a little differently. He does use the downer to interrupt the can, but it gets a little more damage down and returns 16% only on Mr. Rodgers, though. So he's got to be careful. And my goodness, he just used the armor from the Concord to get away from that combo.
Into the back throw, already has the can set up. He'll be able to go over the right into the F smash.
Yeah, hits him with the F smash, and Mr. Rodgers doing such a great job. Oh, the bullets actually interrupted when he was doing the clay pigeon, so he's actually able to escape the notorious 50 damage on one up throw.
And that's one of the reasons that Duck Hunt's F smash and up smash are so good against Bowser Jr. The first hit will always hit the clown card, but the second and third hit will often hit the Koopaling more often than the card itself, dealing additional damage and knockback, and he's not going to have the range to make it back.
It's an even game right now, thankfully for Ketchup. But this is so good. And that downer does interrupt during the can, and here comes the notorious up throw. But thankfully he had to weave away knowing that the can was coming from him, and both of them trading projectiles. And once again, but here comes the clown. I love how the fact that Ketchup is adapting, using more of his projectiles to counteract the fact that Duck Hunt is going to be abusing a lot of his projectiles to wall him out.
Yeah, both Ketchup and Mr. Rodgers are actually making great use of each other's projectiles. Both the Mecha Koopa and the can itself can be used as a weapon against its sender.
Gotta be careful, and a lot of these mix-ups come in from the clown card itself, and he's gonna crash into it, but nothing so far. Mr. Rodgers doing a great job, and Ketchup's got a little bit of trouble right now. He's getting up a lot of damage. He's gonna hit with the clown card as well, and the can used once more. This car is riding left and right, and here comes the ball, but it's not gonna hit just yet, and Mr. Rodgers forced off stage really soon, but Ketchup gonna go ahead and continue to release projectiles instead.
Continuing to deploy these Mecha Koopas, the Phantom Footstool actually putting him right back to the stage.
Oh no, that should kill.
That will kill. Yep, rapid jab, not going to survive with all that range. Ketchup fell behind early, but managed to claw his way back, and is going to be rewarded with that Game 1 victory.
What a close game coming into play. Both these players really pulling out the most of each other, but I think that is just relatively how Mr. Rodgers is the dark horse of this tournament.
Yeah, if there's anyone who can bring it back, I would not be surprised if it's him. Ketchup looked very good to be in that. Wonder if we'll be seeing Mr. Rodgers make a switch back to Yoshi in the end, but that Duck Hunt on paper didn't look too bad, especially with the mileage he got out of the side platforms and the left platform in particular. It seemed like Ketchup was less comfortable going from right to left.
Yeah, he's able to perform a lot of these combos, but I think one thing that might have heard is that Duck Hunt was unable to get those clay pigeon combos that he really so wants. But other than that, Mr. Rodgers performing super well. So game number 2 between these two, and let me tell you, both these players really respect each other. Yeah,
certainly. There's a lot of, mutual. I think mutual respect, as you said, but also mutual knowledge. Both of these are very familiar with how each other play. Maybe Ketchup less so with Mr. Rodgers' Duck Hunt, but he knows his general playstyle. Mr. Rodgers loves to play pretty standard in neutral, and in advantage, that's where he'll start throwing in some of the mix-ups.
Yeah, he's able to perform so well, and here comes the up air chains, 51% already, but here comes Ketchup with his own, using the falling nair and as well as the drag down air to make sure that he stays relatively safe, but the can does hit him out for a little more damage, and the F smash gets armored right through.
Yeah, you cannot get through that. It does work on the second and third hits, but you require the first one to have to connect with no heavy armor and play. Nearly got the hammer swing.
Yeah, unable to get the conversion, but Ketchup playing really defensively, knowing that that can is back there, but gonna go ahead and throw it the Mecha Koopa instead, charging up the neutral special. Oh.
Able to armor through that F smash once again. Ketchup has to find some way down from these platforms. Does so with a down tilt.
No, he's able to escape it, and here comes, it actually snipes him out. I don't think Mr. Rodgers can make it back because the explosion. Oh, he air dodges right back to the ledge. What a clutch recovery coming into play, but Ketchup this time is going to be forced to the back end.
Excellent work with the cans, putting him up to 124 and 119 for Ketchup himself. Back throw nearly connecting to the can itself, but it wasn't stationary on top of the platform. It was just moving out of the way.
And the can pressuring a little more, almost caught him, but thankfully Ketchup gets away with it. And they're both relatively safe. F smash is not safe at all. That back here, not killing just yet though.
Yeah, ready and waiting with the up tilt, and now all of a sudden, Ketchup actually finding himself in a bit of a hole.
Oh!
That Mecha Koopa saved his life.
Oh my goodness, it actually saved him so hard, and both of them throwing projectiles at each other once again, and here comes the can once more. Unable to find himself in, but Ketchup with the jabs, Falcon punches him out of there.
That time he was just waiting and ready. Wasn't even in shield. Just wanted that jab to come up as soon as humanly possible. But the down air right after from Mr. Rodgers. You could tell that clown card was so telegraphed. Ketchup had no other option to make it back except risking the stage spike.
Yeah, even Ketchup was smiling about that spike. Greatly done by him, but here comes the up air, the 50%. It actually shreds the clay pigeon, but no follow-up. Nair into dash track. Standard combo, and Ketchup almost snipes him out with down, but unfortunately Mr. Rodgers is able to weave himself around it.
Yeah, Clay Pigeon getting rid of the Mecha Koopa, but tech roll out from Ketchup actually covered by the Clay Pigeon from Mr. Rodgers.
And Cran used once more by Ketchup with the superior up air. Does find himself out of that situation. Does not land it down. And here comes the armor. Unable to get himself out of that situation, though.
Excellent cross-up back air. Has to find some way around, and does. With the neutral getup, is going to be easily covered by the Mecha Koopa.
Yeah, look at all this coverage in the can with that insurance policy to make sure that he stays safe. And here comes the can once more, throwing it out, but it gets hits up with the ball instead. The cannonball finds its mark.
Goes over with the fair. Puts a gunman down for safe measure, doesn't immediately go for the stage spike, instead just opts to throw out a Clay Pigeon.
And does hit him up with that back here. Ketchup forced in the back, and he's got to be really careful for us in this corner. Once again, he can't re-grab ledge, he's got to be careful. But this time, Mr. Rodgers is too afraid to really contest it and do anything. And here it comes, Clown Cart swerves right into him.
Yeah, this time he's going to have to play
Oh,
from a
it
safe
dropped
distance.
down, it killed him!
It just dipped.
What a snipe coming in! Ketchup, I knew he was going for that, and finally hits him at the right time. 152 already on him, and the can surely finds its mark, but he's still alive.
Living at 170, has to find something onto the Koopaling hitbox rather than the cart hitbox, because other than a smash attack, I really don't, back air maybe, none of his tilts will kill if it connects with the cart hitbox. Up throw isn't even going to come close.
Oh my goodness, it's looking really bad. Mr. Rodgers only at 9% though, but he gets hit up with the can. Great ledge trap.
There we go, finally back to somewhat of an even percent, but here we go. This up air string is relentless, finally broken by the can.
Next, that frame one can that comes into play, and here comes Ketchup, 69% already on Mr. Rodgers. This is kind of the struggle that you have to go through, especially against the fact that you're playing against Ketchup, the man, the myth, and the legend. And there we go, finally another air dodge. It's forcing out. It does force him in slightly disadvantage, and that jab surely is not safe.
Yeah, certainly not. Here we can get a Clay Pigeon extension.
Here we go.
3 in a row and finds the down air, but Ketchup will be living.
That's the recovery, but gets plenty of damage down. But Mr. Rodgers' plenty of damage is quite what he needs, because right now they're both on their last stock.
Rodgers at a slight percent advantage, but that's...
Oh my god! There's no way that actually happened! The can top 10 anime betrayals!
What was that? Ketchup just set up a labyrinth